Okay, so a few tips for getting the most out of the DayMaster meeting. Um, First, let's talk about things at the meeting itself. Perhaps I thought this was obvious, but stand up. All right, this is a stand-up meeting. It's short. It'll be shorter. Don't have people be getting comfortable. Stand up. Um, then, secondly, create task. Don't let people just say, I'll take care of it, all right, and not create the task. I know creating the task adds a little bit of time and things like that, but that kicks in the entire work management system and it makes sure things actually get done and they don't fall through the cracks, that type of stuff. And it establishes this bias for action, and up front, you answer the right questions. Who's going to be in charge? When's it going to be done? It just creates the right atmosphere and throughout the organization. It will spread, okay? Now, at each of the meetings, you go over, and there's a question about are there any late or ETBR3 items on the WMS, and you go look at it. Don't just go look at it. Okay, I've made this mistake in my own meetings at my own companies, and we stopped going through each item every time. Don't do that, because one, by going through every item every time it's up there, that's the essence of public square. Every time it's not taken care of, somebody there has to say, okay, I got this, or whatever it may be. People will get much better at scheduling the right dates, and it's accountability. It works, okay? The other thing, if you don't do it, what you're establishing is that you will tolerate late items. They're not that big a deal, or things that get rescheduled and rescheduled and rescheduled. So don't do that. All right. And at first, if especially, let's say you've been running meetings for a while, sometimes they kind of creeps in, and all once you got to stop and say, hold it, are we doing this right? And then it'll take a while to get what's on there and should have never been on there in the first place as late or ETBR3 off. But don't let that happen. All right. Talk about each item every time. And don't forget to recognize people. It's great when there's a question or two in there that causes people to say, yeah, so-and-so did this, or, are there any shout outs today? Whatever. Anything along those lines are very useful. They're very good. And it's an ideal place because everybody gets to recognize everybody else. It's a great thing. All right. Now, throughout your day, because this meeting's in place, you just need to do things a little bit different to get the full effect. First one, I'm in big favor of sending things in an email rather than having 12 people at a meeting discuss things that only pertain to 3 people. So you do need to get your other meetings right. Don't have them people just be there to be there, all right? But beyond that, instead of sending someone an email saying, hey, this is a problem, will you please take care of it, which really means take care of it, all right? You can send that email, but if you want to, explain it a little bit, or you can create the task. Just go into the work management system and create the task. They'll get everything you put in the notes, and everything is going to get sent to them in an email. And now the task is there for them to do. And everything else about the work management system kicks into place. The public square, the time of it, they're in charge of it. And it's all going to get done. So creating the task versus sending the email, and you can make it sound nice. I understand etiquette and respect and things like that are very important. You can put those things in the note. Or if you really want to do some double work, send the email, and then create the task. But then they have to handle 2 emails for one thing. So just be sure you create the task. All right. Now, people stop in your office all the time. We know interruptions are really, really bad for productivity. You don't want to necessarily tell people they're not allowed to stop in to see you. That's not very nice. And it's not just a matter of nice. When they need to, you want them to come in. But what you do is you really look for those problems that belong at the meeting. You don't fix it on the spot for them. And you say, hey, you know what? That's a great item to bring up at the DayMaster meeting. You do this repeatedly and people will stop coming into your office. They'll voluntarily bring stuff up at the meeting, which is the best place to get it done, and it's less interruptions. And this habit alone, and everybody at the meeting needs to do this. They need to do it with people who aren't, if it gets spread throughout the organization, everybody's going through to DayMaster meeting once a day, everyone will have fewer interruptions, all right? But you need to encourage everybody else to do this too. Tell them, this is something that can be taught to people, and people will learn over time, and it drastically increases productivity. All right. Now, let's say a problem comes up that can wait till the next meeting. It's not an emergency by any means, but you could fix it right now too. Well, if it's actually in your hands, you don't want to pick something up, put it down, pick it back up again, that type of thing. And I know that can be mental, hands or mind. Sometimes you need to go ahead and fix it. I totally get that. But if it can wait. Because the more things that are brought up at the meeting, it teaches everybody else more about the organization and about problem solving. It shows the bias for action. It's good for everyone. And you might be surprised who volunteers. Sometimes you have a tendency to think you're the only one who can solve a problem, and you're not, all right? And it involves more people. Now, some people would volunteer for everything, and that's not good either. But it's you're sharing, and not just problems, good things too, but more people understand more challenges and understand each other's jobs more often is a very good thing. Okay, so there's some tips, and I'll you should start getting emails regularly, and this is one of the things that you'll get little tip of the week type things on, because there are a lot of ways to take advantage of this to make it affect the rest of your day, and all those little things add up to a lot of time. Thank you.